Welcome to the world of group home riches, where you can achieve financial freedom while making a positive impact on society. Are you tired of working long hours for someone else? Do you dream of being your own boss and creating a better future for yourself and others? Look no further. With Group Home Riches, you can invest in real estate and provide a valuable service by offering safe and comfortable homes for individuals in need.
The number one investment in real estate.
And start building a better future for yourself and those around you. Let's make a difference together with Group Home Riches.
It's a visible issue that everybody is seeing, but it's also super complex and it's super messy. And the reality is, if people want to solve the problem, you take houses and then you rent them out by the room to these people that need housing. Like, that's the solution. Most of the time, the group home game, it's predicated on individuals. So we'll take, one person, we'll provide a bed for them, charge them, $800 a month or whatever. But yeah, so we're dealing with a handful of large organizations.
Yeah.
And, 4 or 5 of them, I would say, on average. But there's a ton of them out there. But we just have good relationships with those 4 or 5, and they're shipping us their people nonstop.
It's not a hard selling process. It's just reaching out, introducing yourself, getting information on their program, and and what's your typical response when you're speaking with these places, Andy?
They're like, we need housing. That's the main thing. We need housing.
Yeah.
And you got to get in good with them, right? I mean, you got to become their friend, because a lot of them at the very beginning, they'll tell you all sorts of other stuff. Well, you know what? The housing needs to be perfect. I mean, they're looking for a needle in a haystack. They think that you're going to provide these people with the Taj Mahal, and you're not going to. So you have to be upfront with them, and you got to be honest with them. But once you build some rapport and once you establish a good relationship with them, they'll just open the spigots and start sending you people. The basis of any business is supply and demand, right? The basis of any business is supply and demand. So one thing we do know is that the governments throughout the country, they make it very difficult to build real estate, right? That's why the prices are so high. So they make it very difficult to build real estate. So the supply it's not really growing at the rate that you would want to see it growing. On the flip side, you've got the demand side. So you've got individuals looking for a place to rent. Now, typically speaking, with the group homes, we provide housing related services most of the time to people with some type of disability. They can still be high functioning or whatever, but they could be, bipolar, schizophrenic, they could be depressed, they could have anxiety, they could have an eating disorder, brain trauma, you name it.
Do you know what the average Social Security check is, roughly?
Oof, that's a good question. I don't anymore, but we could probably look it up. But I mean, back, when I was really in the weeds with this business, I would say most people were getting about $700 a month. But I'm sure it's up a lot.
Yeah, the last time I looked, it said 1,300, which seems pretty high.
Yeah.
But let's just say that's accurate. So this is the average rent, but that's also factoring in, this is what everybody pays. That's the average rent, but that's also people, like, they may like, if you've been at the same place for like 20 years, that's factored in here. The average asking rent now is $1,900.
Yeah.
Where's grandma gonna go that thought she was going to retire on her Social Security, which is what they were originally told, by the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where does she go?
Where does she go, Brandon?
This is anybody that lives in a metropolitan area. If you walk through downtown, like, this is why downtown cities are like this, right?
Right.
People are, this is the average rent, and their average check is, even if it is 1,300, that's on the high side. Where are they going to go, right? So this solves that problem.